brothers and sisters in Christ. We thank everyone, and especially God, that we were given the opportunity and another blessing, another week, another Sabbath day for us to gather together, to come together to learn more about His words, and not only through the lesson and through segments of our service, but today I will be broadening our education on our doctrines of our church. Last week, what was covered was by our brother Joshua, about Satan and how he fell from heaven and everything. And first and foremost, I'd like to welcome Brother Lister. Thank you for coming today, and we appreciate your presence, and I'm sure God will bless you if you will continue to learn more and more and follow the commandments of God. And today I will be talking about the opposite of the topic of Brother Joshua last week. This was about Satan. Today I will be talking about angels. So when we hear the word angels, what comes to mind? We think about people in white with wings and with halos, right? But the way that our church describes them is not in the sense of a physical characteristic, because it says in one of the parts of our sermon that I'm about to give into you guys today, that they can take any form. We will not know what their true form is until the reaping phase and the warring phase. But they are around today. They exist. We just don't know what form they will take. We just don't know what situations of our life they will be part of. We just don't know how they will introduce themselves, and we just don't know how they will intervene into our lives. But they are around. And let's start with how Jesus, our Lord Jesus Christ, described them when He was still the form of a man here in our earth. That's found in Psalms chapter 8, verses 4 and 5. This is Jesus' description of how angels are. So He says, "What is man, that thou art mindful of him, and the Son of Man, that thou visitest him? For thou hast made him a little lower than the angels, and hast crowned him with glory and honor." So, what are angels? This doesn't cover what exactly they are, but it covers what rank they are under God. So we know that Jesus admitted that he is under His Father, right? So God, Jesus, angels, and us, because it says here in verse 5 that we are a little lower than angels. We're not. We're just right underneath them. So that's the description of angels to us, to Jesus, and to God. It is like how any kind of organization, which is our church, it says that that Christ is head, and we are the body. Angels are part of the body too, but we are a little bit under them. But we all work together in ministering our spirits to follow His commandments. So the word angel, according to break down definition, means messenger. But it doesn't really describe the nature of how angels, or the nature or behavior of angels. The Bible doesn't really describe that. But it describes of the relationship of angels between God, Jesus, and man. And we can find these verses in Hebrews, in the book of Hebrews, chapter 1. And then we will read verses 7 and 14. And of the angels he saith, who maketh his angels spirits, and his ministers a flame of fire. And verse 14, are they not all ministering spirits sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation? So what is the relationship of angels to man? It says specifically here that they are ministering spirits. They are sent forth from God to do the opposite of what Satan is trying to do into us. Satan is trying to tempt us. Satan is trying to bring us down, bring us to his level of, because he knows that humans have a weakness, because of course of the saying that we are just human, we make mistakes. That's why we always strive to be perfect. We always strive to be perfect. And who helps us are angels. It says in verse 14 that they are ministering spirits. The word minister means that they teach you in ways that sometimes is not, like you don't expect it, that it is a lesson, but they are around. They are being a ministering spirit to guide you in your life. And you don't know, because people don't, they don't really appreciate sometimes people because of their standing in life. You know, people are on the streets asking for money. People are working at restaurants. You know, people, just because they don't have that state of professionalism, they look down on them. But what they don't know is that if you judge a book by their cover, you don't know if they are really angels. Even in the lessons in life that we learn, sometimes the most important lessons in life and things that we learn, like the truths that we learn in life, don't come from professionals. No, sometimes it comes from that carpenter that helped us grow up and learn and survive and adapt in the Philippines. Me and Kuya, we learned a lot from Uncle Alex. And to me, he is a ministering spirit, because he taught us everything, you know, in how to survive and how to adjust, how to respect others. And he says that he's a professional, but he says just a professional driver because he has a driver's license. But in our society today, we're so superficial about everything. And we shouldn't look on people that way, because people can be angels to other people, no matter who they are, because it's in what they teach. So let's read on in Psalms chapter 12, 7 to 9. These are the two kinds of angels that is described. Psalms chapter 7 to 9. No. It's found, my next verse is in Luke chapter 20. I got it mixed up with the other one. Luke chapter 20, 34 to 36. So, and Jesus answering said unto them, the children of this world marry, and they are given in marriage. But they which shall be accounted worthy to obtain that world and the resurrection from the dead, neither marry nor are given in marriage. Neither can they die any more, for they are equal unto the angels, and are the children of God, being the children of the resurrection. So this just points out that misconception of when people pass away or when they die. A lot of people, especially here in America, they think that the moment when someone dies, they become an angel if they were good, and if not, if they were bad, they go to hell. But in our doctrine, we believe that if someone passes away or dies, kung mamatay na sila, we wait for our Father in heaven to come. Because that is what we call the reaping phase. Everyone will be resurrected. All the children of the saints of God, Jesus and God, will be resurrected, and they will be reaped by, and everyone that is holy, everyone that was following God, will be that as angels. So okay, now next, going to the next topic, in Revelation chapter 12, 7 to 9. This is what are the two kinds of angels. Revelation chapter 12, 7 to 9. Okay, so this was covered in the last topic about Satan, but now since it describes both of the kinds of people that were with and against God, then we'll read this. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So there are two kinds of angels: the angels that follow God and the angels that follow Satan. That's why in our lives, that's why they say that our life is full of ups and downs. Our lives are full of trials. Our lives are full of rewards at some points in our life. It's not a straight, full journey. Because for example, in analogy speaking, I heard my father, he said that if you choose the straight way, then it just shows that everything is easy and there's no trials and tribulations. Our church, ourselves, we're not big. We don't have many members. We don't have big buildings. We don't have leaders. We don't have hospitals. We don't have schools of what I know of. Those are the people with the straight path. Those are the people that believe that they're better than other people. Those are the people that think just because there are a lot, the bandwagon is the place to go. But ours, we go through the narrow road, because even look at how the children of Israel came out of Egypt. Some of them even doubted, because they were in bondage for how many years, Brother Siligay?
430 years.
For 130 years. 430 years. That means even those people that started during bondage, they didn't even live to see freedom. Some people were born in between those years, and look at them now. They're growing, and they're holy, and they're chosen. 144,000 of them are gonna be the chosen few, the 144,000, and we are still following, and hopefully the angels will guide us. So let's read in 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 1, and this is somewhat of a warning of what the Bible gives us about Satan's angels. Chapter 4 verse 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. So it's not only in the aspect of, we're tempted to do evil things and bad things, but there are also what we call doctrines of devils, which the word doctrines come from, as I understand it, doctrinal points of our church. Those are beliefs of our church. Those are truths found by our church from the beginning of time. So there are also beliefs that people will try to implant and those people are, they're victims. And what we can do now is try to save them. Not only angels can minister spirits, but we are also tools of the Lord, because we're only a little bit lower than angels, but we can try to save others as well. And that's the end of my sermon, and hopefully you guys learned a lot about how angels are related to us, how the relationship is to us from God and Jesus, and especially to man. And hope we can be angels to others in their lives also, like just giving them a small tract, a lesson, a text from the Bible. You can save them, because maybe you can be their angel. So God bless, and thank you for listening.